Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशपालिने। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तजन। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Sri Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is August 2nd, 2026, and this is the 530th session of Chaitanya Charitamrita. We're reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita's Madhya Leela, chapter 11, the Beḍā-kīrtana Pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And today's verse is text 16. Before we begin with today's verse, let's quickly go over the context here. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, or he just informed Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu that Pratāparudra Maharaj is very anxious to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And Mahaprabhu responded by covering his ears with his hands. And then he said to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, what are you asking? I am a renounced sannyasi. For me to see a king or to see a woman is like drinking poison. And then a verse is quoted from Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, which says that for a person who is seriously desiring to cross this material ocean or this ocean of material existence and to reach the supreme destination of Krishna's abode, for one who is detached from this world and who has turned towards bhakti with the desire of crossing this material existence and reaching the other side of Viraja and going to the topmost abode of Krishna Loka, for such a person, even seeing the face of a materialist, the form of a materialist, or a woman's body means death. It's better for him to drink poison than to see a materialist or a woman. Hearing this, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, yes, my Lord, you're correct, but this king is a great devotee of Lord Jagannath. Then Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, even if he's a great devotee, still he is like a deadly serpent, like a black serpent for a sannyasi who desires to cross this material ocean and reach the other end. That means reach the topmost destination. Even if he's a great devotee, still, if he's a king then his association is deadly for a sannyasi. Just like the association of a woman, that means the form of a woman made of wood or stone, also causes sexual agitation in a man's heart. It's not a real woman, but just the form of that woman also causes agitation, sexual agitation in a man's heart. Similarly, a person who is a materialist, however qualified he may be, but still, if you see a materialist person, then it's like death for an aspiring devotee. That means he will lose his taste in bhakti, or his faith in bhakti will be affected if he's associating with materialistic people. And whatever qualities that they have, they are like these jewels on the hood of a deadly serpent, of a venomous serpent. You will find in the lower planets, Patala Loka, there are serpents. And these serpents have jewels. There is no sunlight going there in the lower planets. Yet that place is illuminated. It's illuminated by the jewels that are on the hoods of the serpents. There are different headed, many headed serpents there. Some have 5, some have 10, some have hundreds, like that. But on the hoods, they have these jewels, and these jewels are illuminating the whole planet. So yes, they are very attractive. Even in this world, rarely you will find some serpents with jewels on their heads. We hear this in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat. Haridas Thakur was living in a cave, and there was a deadly serpent, and there were poisonous fumes coming from that serpent. And the people who came to hear Haridas Thakur's classes, they could feel the poison. But Haridas Thakur was completely oblivious to the fact. He was living in the same cave where the deadly serpent was living. So the devotees told Haridas Thakur about this serpent. And at that time, Haridas Thakur, because Haridas Thakur had no problem with the serpent. He said, I don't see any serpent here. But if all of you are afraid, then he commanded that serpent to leave. If there is a serpent there, then leave this place immediately. Because these devotees are, he said that he will leave the cave. So the devotees were saying, please don't stay here. This cave is not safe. The devotees were concerned for Haridas Thakur's safety. So they said, don't stay here. Leave this place. And what did Haridas Thakur say? He said that if the serpent does not leave this cave, then I will leave. In a couple of days, if the serpent does not leave, then I will leave and I will go elsewhere. Immediately after that, from wherever it was hidden in that cave, that serpent came outside, and slowly it started going out. All the people who saw that deadly snake, they were, scared. They were shocked. And of course, wonderstruck. It was very beautiful. It had a hood. It had a jewel on its head. However, still it is a cause of fear. So the point is, even though the serpents who have jewels on their heads are special serpents, rarely you will find such serpents who have these money on their hood, but that is very rare. Still, you don't go and pick up that serpent because it has a money and you keep in your house, isn't it? Because it's deadly. It went away, the serpent went away. So here, the context is, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that a materialist, a non-devotee, however qualified that person may be, material qualities, he may have many wonderful material qualities, maybe very learned and even very pious, and all that. Still, if he is not a devotee of Krishna, he is like a serpent. Association of such a materialistic person is like associating with a poisonous serpent. Can you live happily if you knew there is a king cobra in your house, maybe under your bed? You cannot even sleep, isn't it? That's how we should feel when we are associating with materialistic people. Don't consider them to be your friends, your well-wishers. Materialistic people's association is like the association of a poisonous snake for devotees who wants to progress in bhakti. Why this is being said here? Because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu if you could see Prataparudra Maharaj, and the Lord is saying Prataparudra Maharaj is a king, he is a Vishayi. Why? But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said he is a devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying even if he is a devotee, because he is a king, king means he is dealing with power, with money, with women. To associate with such a person is very dangerous for a sannyasi. That is the point. So even if he has many qualifications, even if he's a great devotee, it is like a jewel on the hood of a serpent. So that's not good, right? And another example is given to explain the same point. Even though the body of a woman, right? Even though the form of a woman may be made of wood or stone. That means like a doll, a wooden doll of a woman who is nice, very attractively decorated, etc. If a man sees or touches even a wooden doll of a woman, that means a sannyasi, then he will become agitated. So in this context, also very important lessons were given, how we should not trust the mind. Don't think that my mind is controlled now and I have no problem. You can put me anywhere, even in the association of all materialists. I can go in the middle of, people drinking wine or having illicit sex. I'm not going to be affected by all this because my mind is controlled. That type of overconfidence is not good. It's very bad. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, if the mind is not engaged in Krishna consciousness at every moment, there is a chance that it will give way to its enemies. What are the enemies of that are accompanying the mind? Kama, Krodha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya, Bhaya. These are the 6 enemies. If the mind is not engaged in Krishna consciousness at every moment, then these enemies can attack at any moment because they're always with the mind. The only way to protect the mind is to keep it engaged in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we will become victims of such a mind. That means these enemies will capture the mind and then the mind will drag the devotee down. So then what is the solution? How can we keep the mind engaged in Krishna consciousness all the time? Chanting Hare Krishna mantra engages the mind at the lotus feet of Krishna constantly. So our endeavor should be to chant Krishna's names constantly. By chanting Krishna's names constantly, we can engage our mind in Krishna consciousness at every moment. Then, if we are chanting, these enemies of the mind will not have a chance to strike, like a snake that comes and strikes you. Like that, these enemies can strike. The mind can strike. But if the devotee is chanting Hare Krishna, that's the best way to engage the mind in Krishna's service all the time. And then such a mind will not degrade. So the enemies of the mind cannot strike. So how alert we should be so that the mind doesn't go here and there. And why? So you can be chanting Hare Krishna and at the same time also, you can, if you are careless, will it work? in the sense you're associating with materialistic people, you're associating with the opposite sex loosely, then will this and you will still be able to chant Hare Krishna? No, it won't go. You have to do both. Restriction is also required. Jana sangascha laulyamcha shadbir bhakti vinashyati. So associating with materialistic people is also, you have to give that up. So there are 6 do nots and 6 do's. There are things that we should do and things that we should refrain from doing, that we should not do. Both are important. Always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. Both are said. Only one is not said. So what should we do? Always chant Hare Krishna. What should we not do? Don't associate with Vishayis. Don't associate with the opposite sex. This is said especially for the sannyasis. And why for the sannyasis? The detail is given further for the sannyasis. But sannyasi means who? Sannyasi doesn't mean simply one who is wearing saffron. The detail is given in the verse that is quoted from Chandrodaya Nataka, Śrī Caitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. It is said that one who wants to cross this ocean, Bhava-sagara, who wants to cross this ocean of material existence and reach the other side, and there go to the topmost destination, Param Param, Param Param, supreme destination. What is the supreme destination? Golok Vrindavan Dham. So whoever is desiring like that, for such a person to associate with materialistic people or with the opposite sex, that means with men or women. For if you are a woman, then to associate with men. If you are a man, to associate with women closely, is very deadly. It will kill your bhakti. Because Kanaka, Kamini, these two are the pitfalls. Kanaka means gold, Kamini means woman. So people will fall for sex and they'll fall for wealth. So you have to be very, very careful when you're associating with people who are involved with these things. And Mahaprabhu is showing this by his personal example. So when Mahaprabhu said this, and then Mahaprabhu actually quoted a verse also. He quoted a verse from Śrī Caitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. A verse is quoted. Just as one is immediately frightened upon seeing a live serpent or even the form of a serpent, one endeavoring for self-realization should similarly fear a materialistic person or a woman. See, here it is said, anyone who's endeavoring for self-realization is said. Akarad, akaradapi bhetavyam. Simply by seeing the akara of a snake, you get fear. Not even a real snake. If you see the akara of a snake, imagine you're seeing some leaf or something on your window, and that leaf in the night, right? Shadow of that leaf looks like a snake. Do you get fear or not? You're in your room and on the window, you're seeing something and it looks like a snake. You'll get fear. That means even akara of a snake is giving you fear. Similarly, simply the akara of a woman or the opposite sex, right? Akara of woman should give fear. To who? To one who wants to make spiritual advancement. And also simply the akara of a vishayi. Vishayi. That vishayi means one whose goals are material advancement, who's absorbed in sense gratification, who's dealing with material opulence, power, wealth, women. So simply the form of such a person should give us fear. Just as one is immediately frightened upon seeing a live serpent or even the form of a serpent, one endeavoring for self-realization, just as one is immediately frightened upon seeing a live serpent or even the form of a serpent, one endeavoring for self-realization should similarly fear a materialistic person and a woman Indeed, he should not even glance at their bodily features. देखना भी नहीं चाहिए. He shouldn't even glance. Then Mahaprabhu gave a warning to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. If you ever ask me, that means if you ever again ask me to see to see the king, you will never see me in this place. That means I will live here forever. You will never see me again in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu was very serious. Aiche baat punarapi mukhe na anbe. So he warned him, don't let such words come to your lips ever again in future. That means don't you ever ask me to see the king. If you do, kaho jadi, if you do, tabe amaye etha na dekhibe. You will not see me here anymore. That means I will leave for good. I will go away. Then what happened to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya after hearing this? Obviously, he became fearful. Bhaya paya Sarvabhauma nija ghare gela, and he just left. He went back to his house. He didn't say anything about it again. And Basaye giya, Bhattacharya chintita hoila. He went to his house and he started contemplating on this subject. He started thinking about it, what can be done. Because he told the king that somehow he will do something to arrange for his meeting with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. The king was very eager. He asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to please arrange an interview with Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, it's difficult, but I will try. Wait until the Lord comes back. The Lord was in South Indian pilgrimage at that time. So now Mahaprabhu is back. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, so the Lord is not going to allow. Very clear. And he cannot ask Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. What can be done? So he started thinking, see the mercy of devotees. He could have simply said, well, I tried. I did my job. If Mahaprabhu doesn't want to see, what can I do? He could have said to the king, the Lord won't see you. Sorry. Right? We would have probably done something like that. Would you pick up, would you take the risk of displeasing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu? No, right? That Mahaprabhu would leave you forever, eternally. Would you be happy with that? No. So you would probably go and tell the king that, sorry, the Lord said he's not going to see you. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya also realizes what a great devotee Prataparudra Maharaj is. So he's thinking, maybe the king would die if he heard that the Lord is never going to see me. Then he would probably think, what is the use of my living if the Lord doesn't accept me? What's the use of my being a king? I'll just give up this kingdom and everything. Isn't it? If my being a king is an obstacle in my getting the audience of Mahaprabhu, then I don't want this kingdom. I don't want to be a king. He can just drop everything. But then that's not right, because we need devotees to set example to society also. We need kings like Yudhishthir Maharaj, like Parikshit Maharaj, who can actually guide the entire society on the path towards pure devotional service. They are the best leaders, actually. A pure devotee should be the leader of society. But for the pure devotee, there is no need. Still, he will do it for the sake of all of us. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wouldn't want that either, that the king would just drop. A devotee being the king, that's such a great asset for society. So, he's thinking what to do. After going home, Chintita hoila. He was worried. He was thinking, contemplating what can be done in this situation, like that. So then, at that time itself, just when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came home and he was thinking, right at that time, Prataparudra Maharaj arrives in Jagannath Puri. So you may wonder why Prataparudra Maharaj arrived in. Doesn't he live in Jagannath Puri all the time? No, his capital was in Kataka. So the king, Prataparudra Maharaj's residence, his capital was Cuttack. So, but he would come to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. And when the king comes, you know how the king comes. He comes with all his entourage, huh? All his army, his ministers, his advisors. There will be like a whole procession. Whenever the king is traveling, there will be a whole procession. So Prataparudra Maharaj came to Jagannath Puri from his capital city. Of course, it is said that at this time, what we are discussing now, at this time, Prataparudra Maharaj's capital was in Cuttack. However, later on, he moved his residence from Cuttack closer to Jagannath Puri. He was just a few miles away from Jagannath Puri. But at this time, his capital was in Cuttack. And on this particular day, he happened to come to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of Lord Jagannath with his entire procession, all his ministers and his army, etc. And he went to Jagannath temple to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. Along with the king came Rāmānanda Rāya. So Rāmānanda Rāya, you know, was serving in Madras. So in olden days, the South India was in Madras province. That means Andhra Pradesh, all that was under Madras province. And Rāmānanda Rāya was the governor for the South Indian province or Madras province. And his residence was in Rajamahendravaram or Rajamandri, today's Rajamandri, on the banks of river Godavari. And that is where Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, when he went on his South Indian pilgrimage, that's where he met Rāmānanda Rāya. Actually, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya insisted, when Mahaprabhu was going to South India, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya insisted that he should meet Rāmānanda Rāya. So he was actually looking. And when he saw Rāmānanda Rāya, because Rāmānanda Rāya is none other than Vishakha Gopi. And Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is Krishna and Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is Srimati Radharani in both ways. So then immediately their eternal love was there in their hearts, so they just embraced each other. And Mahaprabhu spent time with Rāmānanda Rāya. So we studied that in chapter 8, the conversation between Rāmānanda Rāya and Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And then finally, at the end of that conversation, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu asked Rāmānanda Rāya to come to, he said, I don't want to be separated from you. I would please come to Jagannath Puri. We will stay together there and, we will discuss Krishna Katha. I want to be in your association. So Mahaprabhu said he's going to South India. He's continuing, but on his way back, he'll come and then they'll go. So Rāmānanda Rāya was also very happy and he said, yes, he was very happy to do that. And when Mahaprabhu came back on his return travels from South India, he deliberately went via Rajamandri. He didn't have to go that way. It was he's going out of his way. Why he went there? To take Rāmānanda Rāya and come back to Jagannath Puri. However, Rāmānanda Rāya said that, so before leaving, Rāmānanda Rāya said, yes, I will put an application to the king that I want to resign from my post and all that. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back on his return journey, he said, I'll take you with me. I came here simply to take you with me. So Rāmānanda Rāya said, my lord, I already put an application to the king and the king has agreed. However, you see, he's such an important government officer. For him to leave his responsibility, he has to make sure that somebody else is there to replace his work. So even after he leaves, he will ensure that things are going on properly, isn't it? That's actually a responsible officer. So Rāmānanda Rāya said, I still have to make some arrangements. Some things are remaining. Besides, if I went with you, because he's a governor, even if he resigns, right? Still, if I went with you, then all these, there will be a procession of army and elephants, and all that. So it won't be convenient for you, because Mahaprabhu is a sannyasi. A sannyasi, again, same story. Sannyasi going with such opulence with a governor or with, the king's paraphernalia, it won't look good at all. So he said, you go. In about 10 days, I will follow you. I will be there. I'll take care of whatever, loose ends that I have to fix here, that I have to make some arrangements. And after that, I will come. I will be there. So he said, after 10 days, I'll be there. So now is that time. When Prataparudra Maharaj came to visit Jagannath Puri, at that time, along with Prataparudra Maharaj, in his entourage was also Ramananda Rāya. So, when Mahaprabhu warned Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, don't ever ask me to see the king. If you ask, you will not see me here in Jagannath Puri ever again. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya went home and he started thinking about this matter, what to do. At that time itself, right at that time, Prataparudra Maharaj arrives in Jagannath Puri and he goes to Jagannath temple to take darshan of Lord Jagannath. And along with Prataparudra Maharaj comes Ramananda Rāya. But Ramananda Rāya, as soon as he came to Jagannath Puri, immediately he went to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He went to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And he was very happy to meet Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. That's where we stopped in the previous session. Ramananda Rāya Aila Gajapati Sange. So here the word Gajapati is explained by Srila Prabhupada. Gajapati means king. King is given different names. Sometimes it's called Gajapati or Ashwapati, Chhatrapati, right? We know Shivaji Maharaj is called Chhatrapati, Narapati, like that. So in Orissa, the king is called Gajapati. So Ramananda Rāya Aila Gajapati Sange Prathamei Prabhure Asi Milila Bahurange. With great pleasure, as soon as he came, he first went to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Ramananda Rāya. Rāya pranati koilo, prabhu koilo āliṅgana, dui jane premāveśe karena krandana. So, as soon as Ramananda Rāya came, what did he do? He offered obeisances to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He offered obeisances. And what did Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu do in return? He immediately embraced Ramananda Rāya. And then both of them, being overwhelmed by love, began to cry. In the ecstasy of prema, both of them were crying, embracing each other. Rāya praṇati koilo, prabhu koilo āliṅgana, dui jane premāveśe karena krandana. So, this is also the etiquette. The subordinate should offer obeisances and the superior will embrace. This is how it is. Upon meeting Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Ramananda Rāya offered his obeisances. The Lord embraced him and both of them began to cry in the great ecstasy of love. Rāya-saṅge prabhura dekhi sneha-vyavahāra, sarva bhakta-gaṇera mane haila camatkāra. Now, this type of response or emotion in Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is not common. You see, when Mahaprabhu returned from South India, at that time also, all the devotees had come. Yes, from the devotees' side, they were also ecstatic and, maybe crying and happy to see Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was also very happy and he embraced them, of course. He embraced each person. That's all we hear. He embraced them. And then he was very happy to see them. He sat them all down. He went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. And all night long, he was telling them about what happened during his travels in South India, various things he was telling them all night long. And all the devotees sat around the Lord. So he said different things. Oh, there are different types of devotees that he met in South India and all that. But he said, and also he met different types of Mayavadis, Buddhists, so many, right? So he was telling all that. But he said, he was glorifying Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He said, I traveled, Sarvabhauma, I traveled in South India. I met so many devotees. I have not met anyone like you though. What a compliment, isn't it? Sitting in the midst of all the devotees. For 6 years, Mahaprabhu traveled in South India. He said, I met many devotees, but I have not met a devotee like you. And we've seen, एक से बढ़कर एक devotee से मिले थे भगवान South India में. That devotee who, simply by seeing Bhagavad Gita, he didn't know how to read or write, but simply by seeing Bhagavad Gita, he was personally seeing Krishna sitting on the chariot of Arjun as a chariot driver. And he would go into ecstasy, he would start weeping. He couldn't read what was in Bhagavad Gita, but he could see Krishna sitting there and instructing, and he would simply be weeping. What a devotee. And then the other person who invited Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu for prasadam in South India, who was a Rama Bhakta, always chanting Ram, 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 Ram constantly. He wouldn't say anything except, he wouldn't talk anything. He would simply be chanting the names of Lord Ramchandra. And then after seeing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, now instead of chanting Ram, 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 he started chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Continuously chanting. What a devotee. Many devotees. What about? Same person. Yeah. So, the person who was, it's not the same, right? Two different people have. Another person who invited Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu for lunch, but then he doesn't cook. Because he said, Lakshmanji didn't come yet. We live in the forest here and we are waiting for Lakshmanji. Every day he collects some roots and fruits. When he brings, that's when Sitaji will cook. So we are waiting for Lakshmanji to bring. Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu was, he heard that and he was like pleased. And then immediately he started cooking. So he's in ecstasy all the time. And on the way back when he came, so he went further south, and when he returned on his return journey, again he stopped at that Brahmana's house, and he was feeling so bad that last time when I invited Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, I couldn't feed him properly. Like it was evening already, late afternoon, and Mahaprabhu was waiting and still cooking was not done. Finally, he cooked something and he gave, and then Mahaprabhu ate. He waited, Mahaprabhu waited. So this time he said, he felt that, last time I could not feed you properly. Please let me cook an offering for you. And then he said that I can see that you are my Lord Ramchandra. Like that. So my point is, and what about Venkat Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta's father. So Mahaprabhu met so many wonderful devotees. Also Kurma Brahmana, right? Vasudev Vipra, like that. So many Brahmanas he met. But still Mahaprabhu said to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, I met many devotees, but nobody is like you, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. After saying that, so such a great compliment, after saying that he says, however, there is one devotee who's very dear to me. That's Ramananda Rāya. So that is the position of Ramananda Rāya. And now when Ramananda Rāya came, Mahaprabhu embraced him and he started weeping by seeing Ramananda Rāya. So Mahaprabhu went out of his way. He was in Maharashtra. So like he went down on one side So, you know, India map, South India, right? You come down, it's a peninsula. So he went down from one side, then he would have come back from the other side. But what did Mahaprabhu do? He went down via Rajamahendravaram, and then he went on the western side. He went to Maharashtra. From there, he could have directly gone to Jagannath Puri. Instead, he went back to Andhra Pradesh. He went to Rajahmundry. Why he took that turn again? Specifically to take Ramananda Raya with him. And then Ramananda Raya said, I will come behind you. Rasapriya, darwaza khula hai beta. So then he said, you go ahead. So this was recent also, right? They just met a few days ago. But when he saw Ramananda Raya come, we just embraced him and he was weeping. So this is the love of the Lord. How much Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, what is the love between Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Ramananda Raya, we get to see. This is a rare scene that Mahaprabhu himself is weeping, you know, by seeing a devotee. He is weeping uncontrollably. Seeing this, rāya-saṅge prabhura dekhi sneha-vyavahāra. Mahaprabhu's loving dealings with Śrī Rāmānanda Rāya. When the devotees of Jagannath Puri saw this, sarva bhakta-gaṇera haila camatkāra. They were wonderstruck. My God, what kind of a devotee is this Ramananda Raya? Mahaprabhu is overwhelmed in love seeing this devotee. Normally, the devotees, when they see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, they become overwhelmed. And Mahaprabhu is, of course, also reciprocating by embracing them. But here, Mahaprabhu is weeping in ecstasy. So seeing that, they're thinking, what kind of a devotee is this Ramananda Raya? rāya-saṅge prabhura dekhi sneha-vyavahāra sarva bhakta-gaṇera haila camatkāra. Seeing Lord Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's intimate dealings with Śrī Rāmānanda Rāya, all the devotees there were astonished. I mean, also from the material perspective, you know, my material mind can think from material perspective only. But apparently, from external view, Mahaprabhu knew them before. He was in Jagannath Puri and he was with all these devotees before. And then he just went to South India and he met Ramananda Raya once. And then he continued and then he came back. Still, Ramananda Raya is so extremely dear to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Their relationship, of course, we understand, you know, their relationship is eternal. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is Krishna and Srimati Radharani. From both ways, the intimate relationship between the Lord and the Sakhi, Vishakha Sakhi. And also Ramananda Raya is Arjun, by the way. So Krishna and Arjun. And he's also Vishakha Gopi. So Radharani and Vishakha Gopi. If you see Radha, Krishna and Ashtasakhis, Vishakha Gopi is right next to Srimati Radharani, right? So their relationship is eternal. So the devotees there, when they saw this a reunion, or for them it is the first time they're seeing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Ramananda Raya together. But the type of dealings that they had, when devotees saw, they were wonderstruck. One more point. When we are, those who are pure devotees, when they see that one devotee is very dear to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, to Krishna, there is no envy there. They don't feel envious. Oh, why is this person so close to the Lord? Right? I should be close. That feeling will not be there. Rather, they become very pleased. They want to worship the lotus feet of that devotee who's so dear to the Lord. This devotee is so dear to the Lord means how much love this devotee must have for Krishna. That's why this devotee is so dear to the Lord. I want the dust of the feet of this devotee. This is the mood of pure devotees. So they never feel envious when one devotee becomes very close to the Supreme Lord or to the spiritual master. They feel very happy to see such a devotee who has so much love, so much devotion. that this devotee has become so dear to the Lord. So they were wonderstruck, but we should also know there is no envy or anything. Rāya kahe tomāra āgna raja ke kohilo, tomāra ichhaya raja mora vishaya chadailo. So then Ramananda Rāya, so after they became pacified, Ramananda Rāya began to speak to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and he said, tomāra āgna raja ke kohilo. I told the king. So who is the king here? King is Pratāparudra Maharaj only. Ramananda Rāya is the governor of King Pratāparudra Maharaj. So King Pratāparudra is the king of Orissa, but even South India, the Madras province of South India was also under King Pratāparudra. And Ramananda Rāya was the governor. Thank you. Was the governor of that province. So he asked for the king's permission to resign from his position, from his post. He said, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu has ordered me to give up my duties, material duties, so that I can go and join him in Jagannath Puri. So now Ramananda Rāya is informing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, I told the king about your order to me to give up my government duties. Tomāra ichhaya raja mora vishaya chadaila. When the king heard that it is your desire, then he relieved me from my duties. He relieved me. He gave me relief from my responsibilities. Ramananda Rāya said, I duly informed King Pratāparudra of your order for me to retire from service. By your grace, the king was pleased to relieve me of these material activities. Tomāra ichhaya means as per your desire, right? As per your desire. Raja mora vishaya chadaila. He relieved me from my duties. So by your grace, the king was pleased to relieve me of these material activities. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu requested Ramananda Rāya to retire from his governorship, and according to the Lord's desire, Ramananda Rāya petitioned the king. The king was very pleased to give him relief. See, the king is also such a great devotee. Again, you see, he's not thinking, I never got to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, but my servant, he became so close to the Lord that he gets to give up all work and join. Is he feeling like that? He's feeling very happy for Ramananda Rāya. Wow, Mahaprabhu is asking you to give up all your duties and join him. How fortunate you are. Please go. And also he made all arrangements that even without working, he will still get all his maintenance and everything. He doesn't have to do his work, but still he will be maintained by the king. The king is very happy for Ramananda Rāya. The king was very pleased to give him relief, and thus Ramananda Rāya retired from service and received a pension from the government. So even if he didn't work, he was receiving pension from the government. Ami kohi ama hoite na hoy vishaya chaitanya charane raho jadi agna hoya. So then he's saying the details of what he said to the king. Ami kohi ama hoite na hoy vishaya. So he said that अभी मेरे से ये काम नहीं होगा. I will not be able to carry out these material duties anymore. This is how, so he is relating to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He is telling Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu what he told to King Pratāparudra. What he told King Pratāparudra. He told King Pratāparudra that it will not be possible for me anymore to do these material duties. That means being the governor. Chaitanya charane raho, jadi agya hoy. I am going to stay at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, if you give me permission. Like this. So I don't know if he said that this is the order of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu or not. Because he's saying what exactly he said. He said, I told him that I won't be able to continue with my duties of being a governor anymore. I want to go and stay at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. If you give me such permission. If, yadi, if you kindly give me permission, this is my desire. I want to go and stay at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. I said, Your Majesty, I am now not willing to engage in political activities. I desire only to stay at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Kindly give me permission. tomāra नाम शुनि राजा आनंदित होइला. Asana hoite uthi more āliṅgana kaila. Just see, as soon as Prataparudra Maharaj heard that Ramananda Rāya wants to give up his duties, his job, and instead wants to go and serve the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. When he heard the name, the very name of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, tomāra nama shuni, Raja Anandita hoila. He became so blissful. Ramananda Rāya wants to give up his job so that he can surrender to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, serve the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Just by hearing the name of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, King Pratāparudra became so blissful that he got up. Imagine, he is the king and this is his servant, his minister, governor. He got up from his seat and he went forward and embraced Ramananda Rāya. When I submitted this proposal, the king immediately became very pleased upon hearing your name. Indeed, he instantly rose from his throne and embraced me. How much love he had for Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, we can understand. What a great devotee he is, we should understand. So, I don't want to stop reading, but time is up. I have to go. We will continue tomorrow, Krishna permitting. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitam. We can attend the remaining Mangalarti now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Pranams, Mataji. Hare Krishna.